Welcome back. Today on Real Reviews, we have the Amzchef 1902B Slow Juicer. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the box and see what we have. Alrighty. First off, we're greeted with a nice little manual right here. Instruction manual, safety guide. We have a cool little brush. So it has a brush on this end and it has a little brush down here at the bottom. I really like that. Yeah, so here's a little brush. So I really like that it has this little brush down here and then it actually has a little spot where you can flip it over. Then you can kind of like dig out the, the stuck in, I guess, stuff in the juicer. And I'll show you exactly where we're going to use that when we're cleaning it. There's one specific spot where we would definitely use that. So that is really cool. Nice little brush. Have our little manual. Okay, nice. Very cool. Oh, this thing is heavy. This is heavy duty. Look at that. That's pretty. And I like that it's clear. You can actually really see through it. That's cool. That over there. We have our little pusher thing here. And then finally, the beautiful juicer. Oh, we have some cups too. Oh, this is stainless steel. Get these cups out first. It's a little bit tricky when you're pulling these cups out because it's kind of just like falling all over the place, as you can see. Nice big cups. That one has a spout on it. Let's see this one over here. And I guess this is the catcher cup. This is the one that catches all the pulp. This is the spout cup. And it does actually have markings on it. So it has it in, I don't know what these are. It says 100, 200, maybe these milliliters. I'm not really sure. Those designations are. And then right here we have our actual juicer motor. Put this back in here. Get this out of the way. All right, so here it is. Here's the actual juicer motor right here. This is cool. Stainless steel. And that's actually stainless steel. That's not just like a plastic. So it has like an air vent right there. It has your on, reverse, off right there. Pretty cool. Some little suction cups on the feet. All right, nice. Basically, that goes like that. And then this right here, what this is, how does this open? So kind of like a clip right there. Oh, man, look at that inside. That's completely different. I've never seen anything like that before. It's totally different. It's like a different type of auger. That's like metal up there. Interesting. So how does this come apart? So this has to like twist off somehow? I'm not really sure how this comes apart. There we go. Oh, check that out. So that is cool. So this actually has a 3-stage filter on it. So this has fine, I guess this is, what is this one? Coarse, fine, and ultra fine, I believe is what they consider those. So he has a 3-stage filter that's built in right there. And the only thing right here that I can see is it might be a little bit trickier to clean it because that doesn't go all the way through. That kind of stops right there. So like if you have stuff in the middle here, there's no way to really to get to it to clean it. So that may be a little bit of an issue for cleaning. But I kind of like that because it moves the stuff into the hole. But I just don't know how, I don't know if you're going to be able to use bigger pieces in there. So we're going to have to see how that works. Like, can you throw in a full apple? I'm not really sure with that type of setup there. And here's the actual auger down here. Has a nice auger. Now this is the type, it has like a little hole on the bottom, so it's a little bit tricky to clean, but we'll see how it works out. Very cool. I mean, overall, it feels like nice quality. I kind of like it. I guess it has to be like this. This piece has to go in here first, most likely. Okay, so that has to go in there first. The auger has to go in place like that. And it's not like you don't turn it to do anything. It just goes in one way. And then this, I guess, goes in afterwards up here. There we go. So that's how it goes in. Very easy, very nice. I just didn't know what I was doing. Amzchef right here on the front, pretty cool. So the way that I guess you would set this up is this cup goes over here. That's the catcher. It almost fills it. Now there's only one thing here. There is like a vent right here. So I don't know if you have the catcher there, you're blocking the vent. It's a little confusing right there. So you can see there's a vent right here. So if you have the catcher here, you're actually blocking that vent. But there is a vent on the other side too. So I'm kind of confused about that. We'll have to see exactly how that works. And this right here, you just put it right here for your juice. And it's basically all the way up. And then you have the nice little piece of silicone right here that kind of blocks it from just pouring out. It doesn't feel too tight though. So I wonder if it's really going to fully block it. It feels kind of loose in there. Like normally it really like goes in, you can feel it like holding really tight, but this feels a little bit loose in there. We'll have to see the way that it is when we're actually using it. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to wash this thing, get it all cleaned up and ready. And then we're going to do a juicing. We're going to actually do a comparison. We're going to take this juicer and we're going to compare it with the Canoly-002 Masticating Juicer, or Slow Juicer. We have two slow juicers side by side. We're going to compare both of these and see which one is better. All right, so just a quick spec comparison between the two. The Canoly-002 300 watt motor versus the Amzchef is a 200 watt motor. They're both supposedly only 60 decibels, even though the Canoly is 105 RPMs versus the Amzchef is 60 RPMs. 5.2-inch feed chute on the Amzchef versus a 4.1-inch feed chute on the Canoly. So that bigger feed chute is definitely better. And also the Amzchef has a 3-stage filter with the coarse fine and ultra fine versus the Canoly only has a single stage filter. We're talking size. The Canoly is 20 inches tall, 6.5 inches wide by 10 inches deep. And the Amzchef comes in just a little bit smaller footprint, only 18 inches tall, 7 inches wide, and 7 inches deep. The Canoly is a little bit lighter at just 5 pounds versus the Amzchef at 6.3 pounds. And neither one of them is dishwasher safe according to the manual. Now, if you go online to Amazon and you look at the Amzchef, it does say dishwasher safe, but according to the manual, it says not dishwasher safe. So I would probably go with the manual. All right, so now we're going to show you the breakdown and build of both of them. So let's go ahead and start with the Amzchef. So with the Amzchef, the way you're supposed to take it apart, you're supposed to turn this, grab both pieces. So this is after you're done juicing, and then this just comes apart like that. So you have those two pieces there. The auger comes out here just like that. And then you have your pusher, and then here's your cup. So that's pretty much it. That's everything for the Amzchef. As far as the Canoly, the way that you're going to do this, you're going to turn it like this. That comes out. You have to also turn the auger to the right. That comes out. And then you have your filter, which is separate. That comes out separately. And then you also have your base that comes out. So we see how many parts we have here. We have 1, 2, 3 parts here. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So this has an extra piece when you're taking it apart and putting it together. Another thing I want to show you guys is the brush. The difference between the brushes. As you can see, this is the brush that came with the Canoly. It's like that. It has this little piece on top. This has it here on the bottom. And you say, well, this has this piece right here. It's missing here. This kind of just like flips over. And you also have that. And now where you're going to be using this piece right here, just to show you guys, is going to be right here on the bottoms. On both of these, they have this little spot right here that opens up to clean it out. This is for the outlet where the pulp is going to be coming out. And this little spot right inside of here gets clogged up. So you're going to use that to unclog that. So that's where that goes. All right, so for the Canoly one, this piece right here is really tough to get in and out. It's just, I don't really like that design of it at all. On the Amzchef, it's so much easier. I mean, come take a look at this. Just peel this up like that, and it's just out. Very easy to clean it. You just go like that, nice and easy to clean it. And when you want to put it back, it just goes back down like that, like nothing. With this one, it's so tough to get it back into place. You're just kind of struggling to try to get this thing back into place. All right, so let's just compare the individual pieces of the two juicers. So here, the Amzchef, you have the top portion here. This is the differences. This is the way they look. I mean, it's just like completely different design, because this one is kind of like a flip over design. It's kind of cool, I guess. You could put an apple or a fruit and kind of flip it over. And this is just completely open underneath here. But stuff does tend to get stuck in the back there. Versus this is kind of more of a straight down design, but it does have this new piece here. So I'm not sure how that functions yet. We'll have to check that out. This is the Canoly versus the Amzchef. This is a lot heavier. On the Canoly, the Amzchef one is a lot lighter. So I don't know if that's really going to make a difference. And then you have your auger, you have your pushers right here. That's the difference here. The Canoly is a lot longer, but I guess, I don't know, they really need it that long. And then as far as the augers are concerned, the Canoly auger, I always like this auger. This is just the most heavy duty, most gigantic auger that I have seen so far in any of these juicers. And this one, I don't know, it's a little bit smaller. It doesn't look quite as good. And also there's a bigger hole on this one for stuff to kind of get stuck in on the Amzchef. So that's something we might or might not have a problem with. We'll definitely have to see that. And then we have the actual filter right here of the juicer. Now this is actually built into the bottom here, as you can see. So you don't have that extra piece, but it is kind of nice in a way to have the extra piece because it makes it a little bit easier to clean, I guess. And now the cups on the Canoly, I always hated these cups. Look at those cups. Look at these cups. I mean, a big difference with the cups. So, I mean, there's pretty much all of the different pieces. I mean, this also has like some little sticky things on the feet here on the Amzchef, so it doesn't move around, versus the Canoly. Just can kind of slide, doesn't really have anything, just a couple little rubber pieces, versus these little sticky feet. These are definitely better, these little suction cups. So now, as far as putting it back together, it looks like a total mess. Looks like it's going to be really, really hard. Let's just go ahead and start with the Canoly. It's pretty easy, both of these. Just take this piece, put it in position. The auger just going to go, actually, the filter has to go in first on the Canoly, just like that. Then you have your auger. Now, the auger is the only piece that's a little bit tricky, because once you get it in, you actually have to turn it to lock it into place. Now it's actually locked in. Versus if you just put it in, it's not locked. It can come out. It's not supposed to be like that. You have to turn it to the left and lock it into place. So once that's in there, you can take your top portion, you put it on like this. And now this actually has a spot here. This piece actually has to turn into the base and locks in. So you turn it like this and you lock it in, and that's it. And that one's built. So as far as the Amzchef goes, this is also really easy to build. Just make sure you're putting it in. Obviously, it has the two spouts right here, has two slots right here on the side. That just fits in just like that. This auger doesn't have to be turned. It just goes straight down. Just like that. Auger's in. And now this top portion, this was kind of confusing when I first got it, because it has this little slot right here that has to screw into, or it has to kind of slide into. The way that this has to go, this goes down first, auger goes in next, and then you put this in like this, just like that, and then you lock it in. And that's pretty much it. So that's all in there. That locks into place, and then you're good to go. Back in business. So now the difference here, right here, these two chutes are like really close to each other. They're not, I guess they are 90 degrees, but these little cups are kind of horrible. Versus over here, I kind of like this layout a little bit better. And last but not least, the profile, the side profile of the Canoly is just a lot bigger. Over here, you have your button right here at the top on the Canoly, versus on the Amzchef, side profile is a lot smaller, and the button is right around here on the back. So kind of like right on the top, right on the back, but anyhow. So there's all the differences and similarities between these two juicers. Now let's go ahead and make some juice. All right, so here is what they look like on the countertop. I kind of like the way the Amzchef looks better. That stainless steel just looks really, really cool. Those juice cups, I like the way they look too, that they go right up to the spouts. And it kind of, I don't know, it looks interesting. It definitely looks interesting, different. Looks nice as well. Those juice cups I really don't like, and we're not going to be using those on the Canoly right now. There's what they look like on the countertop. Which one do you think looks better, guys? Let me know in the comments. Which one would you prefer to have on your countertop? All right, so now the first thing I'm going to be doing right here with the Canoly is taking these cups out of here. And I'm going to be replacing them with some old cups I have from another juicer, just so it doesn't spill all over the place. So let's go ahead and get started. Now we have roughly the same amount of fruit for both of them. We weighed them out. Those apples are just a couple of grams difference between the three there. So when we weighed all three of them here, it's like, I don't know, 540 something grams. And this is like right around the same. And now the carrots are also roughly the same weight. So now we're going to just go ahead and open this up and get these guys going. And we're going to see how much juice we get. So let's go ahead and get started with the Canoly. Let's get these apples in there. It's kind of stuck already. Now the Canoly does do pretty good for juicing, I have to say. It is a good juicer, but I kind of don't like this back portion right here because it does get stuck. As you can see, it's kind of jammed up right now. Let's go ahead and reverse it. And it's not really helping much. There we go. Finally getting it. Last apple in there. Look at it spitting out all the pulp. Let's open this up, get some juice pouring. There we go. Let's get these carrots in there now. Woo! Getting a lot of juice out of it. Look at that. pretty much everything down. Now a little bit does get stuck in the back portion of the chute there, as you can see. Burst it a little bit. And I think we're good. Now with this Canoly, you do have to reverse it one last time before you're able to take it apart, or it will be completely stuck. So there we have quite a bit of juice there. Not bad at all. There's a little bit of froth on the top. So I guess when it goes faster, you tend to get that froth, and when it goes slower, you tend not to get it. So now let's go ahead and switch over here to the Amzchef. Let's see what we get. Now you're supposed to be able to, I guess, put fruit inside of here. So I guess you can't fit all 3 apples. Let's just try the 2 and see what happens. Turn it on. Where's the switch? Here we go. It's already jammed. Already jammed. Go ahead and turn it on and see what happens. Check it out. I've never seen that thing work before. That's pretty interesting. Now the only difference here is you don't have the chute, so you can't just keep throwing stuff in there. You got to kind of keep opening it up. That's a little bit of a downside. That's the way that's working there. Pretty interesting. Getting a little bit of juice here. We're getting some pulp coming out here on the side. That pulp just coming out there. Juice, is it leaking? It doesn't seem like it's leaking, so that's a good thing. That's a little bit awkward for me because I'm not used to having a switch like that. I'm kind of used to having this one here on the back, so it's a little strange, but I guess I will get used to it. Go ahead and toss the second apple in there. I mean, that's just a full apple, and it's getting it pretty good. Look how much juice it's making. A little bit stuck there. Let's see if we can help it. And this one is a little bit of a learning curve on the Amzchef because of that blade at the top, that piece at the top that's kind of spinning around. I really have to get used to that. And so far, I think that the Canoly did do it a little bit faster just because of that. Whichever one does it better is what we're really worried about. All right, let's go ahead and grab the third apple, get it in there. I think we could probably throw these carrots in there too. Let's get crazy and just toss it all in there, see what happens. Look at that juice. Ooh, look at that. Wow. A lot of pulp coming out. See what's going on in here. Having a little bit tougher time, I think, with the full apple. I think with the Amzchef, you may have to cut them a little bit before you put them in, versus just tossing them in there. All right, it's getting it now. This one's any louder. Take a look here at the top. You need to really be grabbing it and dragging it down into the hole there, so that's kind of good. Getting all little bits and pieces in there. Getting all the little bits and pieces. Pretty much got everything. All right, so there we have it. I think that's about done. Call that done. And I think it doesn't have quite as much froth as the other one. It has a little bit less, I think. But they both still have them on the top, as you can see. Here's the pulp cup full. So now let's see which one has more pulp and which one has more juice. All right, so let's go ahead and try the Amzchef first, see how much juice we have. So we got right around 13 ounces out of the Amzchef. Let's see the Canoly, what we got. Looks like we got about 14 ounces out of the Canoly. So it looks like the Canoly gave us an additional ounce of juice. And now as far as pulp goes, see how much pulp we have here. I think this pulp maybe feels a little bit lighter. This does feel a little bit heavier. I think by comparison, it looks like the Canoly has less pulp than the Amzchef. It looks like the Canoly actually did a little bit better job than the Amzchef did, to be totally honest. I also think the Amzchef was a little bit louder than the Canoly was. Let's go ahead and listen to the motors real quick. So here's the Canoly, and here's the Amzchef. Definitely louder. It's a louder motor on the Amzchef. The Canoly is definitely quieter. This is definitely a quieter motor. It doesn't seem to be spinning so fast. I mean, I don't see that being 100 RPMs. Let's see this right here. Yeah, this is definitely going faster. That's going slower. Not really sure that it's that much of a difference in RPMs though. But there you have it right there. It looks like the Amzchef made just a slightly bit less juice. Slightly less juice than the Canoly. Let's see which juice actually tastes better. So here is the juice from the Canoly. Ooh, look at that, full cup. Here's the juice from the Amzchef. Actually, I'll pour it this way for you. Whoa, all the way up to the top. So as you can see, the Amzchef juicer has less foam to it, it has less froth to it. And the Canoly juicer does have more froth. I think what's going on here, to be totally honest with you, not that necessarily the Amzchef did any worse than the Canoly. I think what happened is that the Canoly has more pulp in it, and the Amzchef doesn't have the pulp. So the pulp difference actually makes up for the additional weight. So let's just go ahead and try it real quick. They're both really good, but this one is definitely frothier, and you can see the color as well. This one's lighter, and that one's darker. I mean, some people would probably say that the Canoly actually burned the juice. It was actually too much, and actually degraded it a bit. Versus the Amzchef, it kept it looking like the correct color. As you can see, the difference in color. You can really see that on camera so much. But for sure, the juice that came out of the Amzchef is definitely a lighter color than the juice that came out of the Canoly. Less froth, lighter color, and a little bit less pulp. As you can see all the pulp moving around here. Over here, it doesn't have quite as much pulp. Can you really see that on camera? You can see the difference in pulp. See the difference in pulp right there moving around? Let's see this one right here. That one has a lot more in there. A lot more moving around. You see this a little bit better. This is the Canoly. Really, really frothy in there. Really, really frothy, just staying frothy. And this is the Amzchef. It's just like juice. It doesn't really have much froth in it at all. So that's the difference right there. As you guys can see, here's the pulp. There's the pulp from the Canoly. Pulp from the Canoly. Pulp from the Amzchef. Amzchef pulp is a little bit wetter. Canoly is a little bit drier. But that froth, I think that's the big difference right there. That froth. The big difference in juice quality. I have to say Amzchef is going to be a little bit better quality juice. And they're both roughly the same price. All right, let's see which one is easier to clean. All right, now the first thing you have to do before you clean your juicer is obviously unplug it. Let's go ahead and unplug both of them. And now for the Amzchef, the way you want to do this, turn it around. You're going to just turn it like this. You got to turn this top portion to the right, and then you just grab both pieces together. You take them off just like that so it doesn't spill anywhere. Once you get in the sink, you can just take this top piece off like that. Done. Open this up and get ready to rinse it. And that's what it looks like inside. It's not too dirty in there, honestly. Really not too dirty in there. Just a little bit right there left in that bottom chute. And now this right here is really easy to get. The auger just comes straight out, just like that. There's a little bit stuck under there, but not really much. And this chute right here is really easy to clean. You can just open that up just like that, and it makes it simple to clean. Get a little bit of water running here. There we go. Get our trusty little brush. This is where you want to kind of dig in here with this. Go in here just like that, and you get everything out. You run some water, nice and clean. Up here to the top. And now for this part, you can flip this over. Then you get inside of here if you want to brush around the edges here. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy to clean this out. Some warmer water on it. And that's already basically cleaned out. Basically rinsed out nice and beautifully clean. Nothing stuck anywhere. We'll hit it with soap later. It's just a rinse just so you guys can see how it is. There's auger. Nice and clean. Now with this little brush can get inside here if you needed to as well for the auger. But I think it kind of cleaned out already. A little warm water really does the trick. Now this top portion, want some warm water down as well. And now this is the trickier part right here, the little filters. Brush it out. That's where it's a little bit tougher, I think, on cleaning this because of this top portion. It's kind of blocking me from getting in there. So I can't really get inside. Ooh, and be careful right here. This is really, really sharp. I almost cut myself. I went like that and I almost cut myself this piece right here on the bottom. So be very careful about that. So you can't really run water through the top while you're doing this. You got to kind of run water to the bottom. Can't get to the pieces, like there's some piece stuck right here underneath. I'm having a real hard time getting to it. If I get down here with my finger, I might be able to get to it. And this is kind of really rough and rugged too, this piece of metal that's in there. So be very careful of that as well. So here you can use your brush, kind of get in here, clean all these filters out. That part's simple, but you can't go all the way up. You can't go all the way up to the top of the filters there because that's in the way. So there we go. That's done. Nice and clean. So that is the Amzchef all rinsed out and cleaned. Right now, we're going to jump over here to the Canoly. Let's grab the Canoly. Now, the way that you take this apart is really simple as well. Just going to go ahead and turn this like this. Take that off. Now, this bottom part will not come out with it because you have to take the auger off first. So that's the only thing, is that this can get messy. This won't come out. That's in there. It's not coming out. So the auger, you have to turn it. Actually, you have to turn it to the right. Once you turn it to the right, you see how that is right there? Turn the auger to the right. Then you can pull it out fairly easily. Or you could have pulled it all out with the auger, actually. Get this whole piece out. And this one leaked everywhere. Look at that. There's a Canoly. The Amzchef, completely dry. The Canoly leaked all over the bottom. So, you know, I guess some things are good, some things are not, because this is going to be a pain to clean right here. All right, so as far as rinsing this out, a little bit harder. And the brush isn't quite as good. The brush that comes with this is this one. And it's much harder to clean it. As you can see, it's already tougher to clean this out. So cleaning wise, I have to say the Amzchef is way easier. I thought the Canoly would be easier, but I forgot about this part of it. And I also forgot that it leaked. So that's kind of not good. So I have to say the Amzchef is definitely better right there. Not going to leak. And it's definitely easier to clean out. Even though you can get through this, I think that it's still harder to clean this, to be honest with you. Harder to clean this out. And then you can get directly to it. It's just holding on to stuff more. And I like my stuff to be clean. I don't like to leave anything trapped in there. All right, so there we go. Oh, still has something. Finally done. It looks pretty good. All right, so that's that part, the filter. Now this base, this is the trickiest part about this that I really don't like because of this. Got to pull that out. It's really hard to get back in. It's just not as easy to clean because it's much deeper in there. And to get to it is just tougher. And also the hole is smaller. So you got to kind of go up from the top here, like that. That's a little bit tougher to get that cleaned out. And never let this thing sit. If you let this thing sit for a while, you're not getting it cleaned out. You have to clean this as soon as you're done juicing, like immediately. So if you're not going to clean it when you're done juicing, then don't juice because you're going to wreck your juicer. And also, see, this doesn't open up all the way, so that you can't really get inside to clean it either. There's really no way to really get in there to clean this piece too well. So that just slides in and out like that, versus the other one actually opens up on the Amzchef. And this also has these little tiny pegs right here where the other part fits. And it's really hard to clean around these as well. So that's just a pain to get in here to try to clean these. So I have to say the Amzchef definitely wins for cleaning. It wins for cleaning. It wins for juice quality. And the only thing is it's a little bit louder and it takes a little bit longer. But there's a slow juicer, so that's not a big deal. But the loudness factor is the one thing that I probably like the least about it. But I mean, it's not horribly loud. And obviously, you know, you're juicing. It's like if you're blending or if you're drying your hair, I mean, it's going to make noise. I mean, definitely going to make noise. So it's not going to be quiet. And it's only going to be for a couple of minutes. So there you have it. This is much tougher, definitely, to clean. And this part to put back in is like almost impossible. So it's going to leave that out for right now. Now finally, the top portion here. This is also hard to clean a little bit because you can't really get your hand in here. The way that this spins, there's no way to get your hand in there. It's impossible. You just can't. So you got to kind of just try to run water down it one way or the other. And you can't actually go in there and really do a good cleaning of it with anything. There's just stuff stuck right here on the door. It's not horrible. You take your time, it will clean. Look at the stickers peeling off of it. I only use this thing like maybe a couple of times, maybe one time really. The sticker's already coming off, so that's not good. Guess I should have peeled that off already. That's pretty much it. Top portion is pretty much clean. Now this doesn't really require anything. It's a little rinse. Now this is hollow all the way through, versus on the Amzchef it's not. So you don't have to worry about getting water. This is a cup. Look at this. This thing is a cup. Why? I don't know. So I don't like that about that at all. I much prefer it to be solid like this because no water can get inside of it. I mean, why would you need water inside of there? And now the auger, my favorite part about the Canoly is this auger. Very easy to clean. Nothing really gets stuck in it. Well, actually, I can't say that. Look at that. It doesn't. It has everything stuck right there. So even though it doesn't get stuck in this part, it has this piece right here that everything gets stuck in. Not a big deal though. Not a big deal. I definitely still like this auger though, really heavy duty. And this thing just like, it kills it when it comes to juicing. This auger is just crazy. If they could take the best parts about both and put them together, I mean, you really have a killer juicer. All right, so my final thoughts, and I have to be honest with you guys, I was really surprised. It was kind of like up and down. It was like a crazy battle. I don't know if you realize it or not, but I honestly thought that the Canoly was winning. I was thinking that the Canoly was better. I was thinking I was going to just say the Canoly is the winner. As you heard, I almost said it a couple of times, or maybe I even did. But at the end, after we saw the way that the juice came out, after we saw the Amzchef was actually making the juice, because this is the Canoly right here, really frothy. This is the Amzchef, is just like regular juice. And I was just thinking that the Amzchef wasn't doing the job. But once I saw the way that the juice came out, once I saw how hard it was to clean, once I saw the Canoly was leaking all over the place, I mean, I have to say the Amzchef is the clear winner. And I believe that the little bit of extra juice that the Canoly made was really just pulp and froth. I think that's really what it was. It wasn't really much extra juice. But I have to say they both do make juice. They both do make a lot of juice. And the Canoly is great if you want to just keep making juice. You can put it in a little top piece, it just flips around. And so that is definitely cool. But anyhow, Amzchef is a clear winner here. Great job, Amzchef. Really appreciate the juice that you made. And now for the winner, we're going to do one last thing. We're actually going to make one last juice for you guys. Let's grab some ingredients. We have some orange pieces. We have some beets. We have some more carrots. And we got a couple of whole peeled oranges. Nice. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get this started. See what this comes out with. All right, here we go. We're gonna juice all of this stuff together. So first, let's just scoop in some orange bits. Now, oranges are a little bit, I don't know, they have a little bit of fiber. I don't know what you even want to call it. What do they call that? Not pulp, they call it like starch. I guess oranges are kind of a little bit starchy maybe, so they're a little bit tough on juicers and they might get clogged in the filter. So let's see what happens. We'll get all these pieces of oranges in here. Just toss them all in. Go. Toss, whoops. Get some of these beets in here. And I don't want to touch these beets with my fingers because these will stain you. Go ahead and toss them in here. These are a little bit, ooh, look at it. It's just hanging on the edge there. Whoa. It's a daredevil. That beet is a daredevil. All right, let's get the rest of these in there. Just scoop them on in. Get in there. All right, and one piece tried to get away. Actually, two pieces tried to get away. Get them in there as well. There we go. Toss some carrots in the top. Ooh, this is going to be full. This is going to be crazy. I don't know what's going to happen here. Will it work? Will it jam? Who knows? We're about to find out, though. And that is full. That's a full house right there, guys. All right, so let's turn this on and see what it can do. Come on, Amzchef, you could do this. Ooh. Here we go. Here we go. It's getting it. It's getting it. I like that this one is clear because you can see right through it. You can see everything that's going on. It's already doing it. Just let it mix a little bit better. Look at all that pulp coming out. Nice. Ooh, a big thunderstorm outside. It's kind of shaking around a little bit, but it's definitely doing the job. Look at that. That's so pretty. All right, let's see what this juice looks like. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Take a look from the top here. It's just grabbing everything. It's really pulling everything in there, making a lot of juice for us. That pulp looks so good. I feel like eating the pulp. It's dragging everything down now. So it like swings it around and then pushes it into the hole. That is pretty cool. And it got everything. I mean, it got it all. Look at that. I pulp all the way up to the top. And I think we're good here. Let's go ahead and turn it off. Back it up just a little bit. Nice, nice. There we go. Check that out. And this doesn't spill. I'm surprised because it fits in here really gently, I guess you could say. And it's not spilling. Looking good. So there's our juice. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and pour it. Ooh. Couple nice glasses here. Nice. Not quite equal, but it's fine. They look good. Look at that. I wonder what this tastes like. Let's taste this one real quick here. Cheers, guys. Ooh, interesting. Turn off that flash. Ooh, that's interesting. That is really interesting. I don't know if I like that or not. I'm not so sure about that. Let's go ahead and throw these last two oranges in here. Let's use these last two guys right here. Throw these guys in here. See what it does with those. Put a flash on them. Check it out. I really like the way this thing just grabs it from the top here. Just grabs it and just throws it in that hole, and then it just masticates it. Sounds like a dirty word. It juices it, squishes it. That last piece is kind of stuck on there, just dancing around. I don't think it's, oh, it actually went. It actually went. I'm surprised. What about that piece? It's gonna go. It's like I'm gonna. Oh, look, it fell in. Wow, it actually got that one too. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Check it out. Ooh, yeah. Beautiful. There you have it. And oranges are a little bit tough to juice, honestly, with this type of juicer. And it did a great job. All right, guys, so there you have it. This is the Amzchef ZM1902B Slow Juicer. I definitely like it. I give it a thumbs up. I think you guys should check it out, try it out, see what you think of it, and let me know in the comments. If you're interested in purchasing this juicer, I will leave links in the description where you'll be able to get it. And if you would like to show your support, please be sure to use my links since they do generate a small revenue for the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you never miss another video on Real Reviews. See you guys next time.